It's my last class of this course. See you guys later.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Ian. Oh, good morning, everybody. Welcome to TeamODZ Live in the ODivaZ group ride. We are on the Greater Flat, London.
Oh, there's already someone to sweep.
And this will be the Rick complaining about people falling off the pack ride.
Only because Ian just made me race up a hill. That's all.
Ian didn't make you do anything.
Well, that's true, but he passed me, which is pretty much making me. And then at the bottom, I'm like, wow, why can I not catch up to him? I'm doing 5 watts a kilo. He's doing 4. And then he tells me, well, after we passed the finish line, that he was on 50%. Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. Uh-oh. All right. I am complaining because right now we've got... Okay, now we're doing good. I'll stop now. We were doing 1.5 watts a kilo trying to get back to the group, and that was just not... Oh, what was he doing? Okay, never mind. He doesn't want to get back. What's that? No, she Mary Blake picked her up. Well, I don't know what's up with the person back, but they followed me for a moment, and then when we got to the group, they dropped back again. I'm just saying that so that you don't have to say, hey, sweeper. I swept. I did my due diligence. Oh, wow. You're, Andy, you still have the mountain sign next to your name. Oh, yeah. I have it too. What's that all about?
Yes, you do.
I have it on your screen, and you have it on mine.
I quit, and I went back to the main menu screen before I joined. I didn't just teleport over it.
Yeah, same. Maybe that's the wrong way to do it now. Wow, this is nice. So far, with the ODivaZ entry ride, doing 3.1 for the full 100K, and then doing a race yesterday. It's nice to just go at a reasonable pace in a group.
We're talking about 63 Fahrenheit tomorrow afternoon, so I might even go outside.
What did I do? Why is
You're
she
sweet.
touching me?
Because you're sweeper.
Ah. Is Angela taking sweeper position?
No. Just how pace
We're
going up there.
We're just going faster.
You guys are just getting too strong from all those races.
You just had to mention the leg snap. We're going up a hill.
Yeah. Wow, hill, this was 5%. Come on, man.
It's an automatic reaction to just hit the gas. All right, keep it right back now. Still handsome. Not gonna do it. And now I'm expecting someone from Albuquerque to say there's no Holiday Inn this year. All my bluff. Never been to Albuquerque. That's our secret.
To touch down so the plane could refuel before going back to Denver. Yeah, Denver.
Mom lived there for 4 years. So, I mean, through blood, I lived there once.
I like that.
I heard lots of stories. Felt like I was there. Obliterated.
Owen asks, what's the repack rush event? I don't know. I didn't know there was repack rush events, Owen. Thank you. Interesting if you could try and join that horn if you didn't have good waiting for. I have to look if you can use it for events. Sure you can if there is one. Just waiting to be able to put those 3 new routes on meetups. I can switch TeamODZ club events to the 3 new routes, but I can't create a club event on them.
Oh, what was that?
So I created a morning workout club so that I could set events up for Rick and I rather than meet up. And I can't set any of the new routes on those, but I can for existing TeamODZ public events.
Don't get mad at her, she's just joking.
Don't call me Speedies, that's the worst you can do.
I tried pronouncing some of the words and it almost sounded like the Swedish chef, so I just figured maybe it was Swedish.
Yeah. I mean, from perspective, the language are not that specific. Dutch have some very distinct pronunciations though. So it probably sounds different than you see.
Yeah, to me, double Dutch is definitely jump rope. But I'm not British. I live in New England. Would that make me new British if I'm a New Englander?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a nice general disclaimer to have. I'm not British. I'll use it as well. Save you a lot of trouble.
Oh man, on the which ride was it? Oh yeah, that was on the Ebb, wasn't it? Where I was like, where I mentioned Pilsen being in Germany. Then my second guess, way off because I guessed Austria. What, like 100 miles away, maybe more. I know it's one of those 3 countries around there.
This is one of the things we find Americans cute, is that you guys will know it.
Well, yeah, but we can get you on like, where's Rhode Island?
Yes.
Or
Well, you can't get me because I've been a radio amateur and I had contact with Rhode Island many times, so I know approximately where it is.
all right, what's Delaware in between?
Delaware is more south, but no, you got them then.
Yeah, that's
Right
pretty
above
much
where I live.
pretty much DC area.
Yeah, right above Maryland, DC.
I mean, pretty much it's like a mixture of like Philadelphia and
Yeah.
DC area.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Delaware's call area is 3, while Rhode Island's call area 1, so there's a big difference there.
Yeah. It's
The one where I have trouble is a lot of the square states. Sometimes, like I always knew about Iowa. I always knew the capital from school,
You
but
mean that the shape of the states are square, or that people living there are square?
well, I won't
Or
speak
both.
for the people.
square people. That's what it really stopped.
Iowa, I was surprised to like when I was in Chicago last, I was like, oh, Iowa's only that far away. And I looked at the map real quick. I was like, oh yeah, Iowa's like right on the other side of Illinois.
But Iowa is not that square, is it?
It's square enough.
Okay, maybe it is. I don't know.
It has
Now,
some
maybe
square
I'm thinking about Idaho. Idaho is a bit funny shaped, isn't it?
I think the only thing that makes Iowa not square is Illinois because
Okay.
of the river that separates them.
We used to have this. Well, actually, it was a backseat to geography class, and I was quizzing with a guy sitting next to me how many states we could remember. We thought that we would be able to do them all, but you get stuck. You get stuck at 35. It's really embarrassing.
Waiting for a coffee break so I can go try to move the car out. And in 3 minutes, we'll see if I can do it.
1 minute
What's
50.
that? Yeah, I'm gonna do all that.
Get a Tesla, then the car can move out itself.
A few minutes. I can. Oh no, it'll be. Well, yeah, I guess it'll be about 8 o'clock. Man, I left a lot of room. was going to help that person, but
Well, there's no natural ice in Quebec, then well, we have a serious problem with climate, I think. That a friend of mine who went to Bangkok, it turns out it was actually a business visit. So
Okay.
he works for Greenland Telecom, so he's looking to get a new medium wave transmitter, really big stuff for coastal radio. And there's a company just south of the airport that makes very large transmitters. Actually quite interesting. There's not a lot of companies doing that in the world.
okay, nice. Trying to think. Oh yeah, so it's out in probably in like the outer Hammond Street industrial area.
It's called Target.
Yes, Target Industrial.
Yes.
Circle.
Yeah, Target Industrial Circle or something. It's but the company is really neutral looking. So where he visited must be some kind of transmitter site that they have in the neighborhood. I wasn't able to find out where that was.
Nice. That's cool. Look at that.
Yes.
You're naming off spots that I know.
Well, thanks to Google Maps and a little bit of internet searching.
Yeah, Grace's cheer team is about a mile down the road, but like in another industrial park. So I see those signs a lot. I think I've memorized every industrial park circle in the area. At least on that stretch of road.
Yeah, well, for radio amateur, it's quite exciting because we have like 1 kilowatt transmitters and they are selling 200 kilowatt stuff. So that's pretty cool.
All right, coffee, there it is. All right, I'm gonna try to do this in 3 minutes.
Oh yeah. Thanks for reminding me. Now I'm not going to get another one.
I should get extra XP for having a non-coffee break streak of like 30 weeks by now.
Hey Peter Bear, how you doing, my friend? Ready for tomorrow? Bit of TTT fun? Maybe. Yeah. Well, Hoofer, Rick and I. Oh, Hoofer and Rick did the CRL yesterday morning. I did it yesterday evening. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Fun leg snapper.
The trade-off for not getting that snowstorm that hit the Northeast was that the air coming from the north from Canada that was pushing it away is now completely here, and it's like 20 degrees and 30-mile-per-hour winds. That was cool.
What a wind shot.
Not used to that. It's been pretty warm here for a little over a week, and walking out into that like as if it was just another morning. Now we're talking about beans. See, I leave and now we're talking about beans.
Okay, Andy, so I'll send you the invitation. I'll also let you we'll probably see get the
All right, Uther, thank you. All right, that's accepted.
you are now officially a Cape Crusader. Good question, Rick.
A case of bushes.
Yes, a bumper sticker. What a break for beans.
Yeah, I've seen you doing the rowing beer bear. And not something I've tried. I don't have a machine at home. Got one in a gym in Worth. But I've had a bad back the last couple of weeks. I'm fine on the bike, but I'm still here when I get off. I might not be able to stand up straight. Walk around like the old man I am.
Yeah, I find rowing is good. I mean, I have a tendency, when I was doing a lot of rowing, I was doing some pretty hardcore workouts on it. And then I'd get on the bike and I'd be like, where did my legs go? But I feel like if you do a decent warm-up pace, that must be good, yeah. Then you can get the whole body going too. Feel stronger on the bike. That was one thing, no matter what, even if I had a hard workout, my upper body felt good. And I was ready to just sit straight and strong on the bike. It was just my legs felt pretty pooched at that point.
I think some of my ancestors rode to America, so that might be why they're very fancy at them. I don't need upper body weight to push up the mountain.
I like it so that I'm not slouching. If I'm sitting straighter and more over, more over the bars, then I tend to be able to sustain higher power better. But at the same time, it's not like
You just want to impress
Yeah.
the ladies sitting at the bar in the brewery.
how'd you know?
I guess.
I mean, I got it. Look at this. Look at this. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, you got it. I'm not suggesting.
I'm like Popeye.
That's just the
My
beans.
forearms might actually be bigger than my upper arms. No, I'm very aerodynamic, I feel.
Like a bullet. Oh,
Who needs all those bulky arm muscles? In brewery work, there is a lot of hand strengthening that happens from tightening clamps and loosening them and screwing things down and doing all that stuff.
wow.
So the forearms are where it's at. They're impressive, if I do say so myself.
So you could make a Planet Fitness advertisement. I tighten clamps and loosen them.
I think like a photo calendar, maybe even.
Just hold and try clamps. Hold on,
Well,
let
you're
me,
moving into firefighting, so maybe hold it back to then.
let me tighten and loosen a few clamps so I can really get the veins pumping before we take this shot. She asking me which part?
I don't know.
No, there was another German saying that it was also called Wednesday for some reason. But yeah,
Oh, okay.
it's all the
yeah,
way
it's-
down in the south, so if they
in
have
other
a
words,
dialect
Germany
in
is
the
not-
north, you wouldn't know it.
Germany is not afflicted with this holiday that was made up by a greeting card company, at least in his region.
No, but I mean, Germany is a little bit like the States. It's 16 countries, so which are very different, and also they have problems understanding each other. I think Annette is down on the Swiss border in the very south. Or maybe Austria. No, actually, not be actually very close.
I mean, at this point, shouldn't England just be called a part of Germany or Germanic?
Denmark.
Or Denmark, yeah. I guess it's Denmark too. I guess the Anglos did beat the Saxons. Huh?
I was just going to
Well,
say,
they
Rick,
did.
they tried that a couple of times, didn't they?
They found out that Britain was large enough for them to plunder both of them without getting in the way of each other, and then the Normans beat them all. And the Normans actually also coming from Scandinavia, so very weird story. The fact of it is that most of the royal houses in Europe became German at some point. Anyway, yeah, for sure the English. So if something goes wrong in November, you could just ask the Germans to send your head of state, I mean.
My state of head is not as good as it was before the CRL. Dropped on this time last time round. Why not to do it this time?
I just think that every brewery has a slightly different brewer hygiene regime. That's the difference when it comes to it.
Yeah, well, you do get that. I'm talking as far as the good ones go. The ones that play on the level of knowing how to do it proper. Most consumers don't notice the difference. I've seen consumers before absolutely loving on a beer that's all the brewers was pretty obvious they had an off flavor, but the off flavor just happened to be good to the consumer's taste, but we knew that it was because of an infection in the fermentation somewhere. It wasn't our beer,
Well, I come from, you evaluate a beer on its alcohol percentage. I mean, taste is very secondary.
we get that sometimes in a college town.
Yeah, but
What's your
here's
strongest one?
Scandinavia, it's also the grown ones. I mean, the problem in Europe is, I think, when it comes to it, every beer is German because every country just copied the German beer in the 1800s. Well, Hefeweizen will give you a bloated belly, so. Actually, I like Australian beer. I've seen Australians down a whole liter of beer without burping. That's really impressive. elk bratwurst. Ah, nice. It's a Czech guy because Pilsen is a province in Czech Republic, of course.
Yes, as we went over last week.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say, isn't that the same name as their football club? The Munich Football Club?
Yeah, Bayern München. But it's just that from 150 years ago, they stole the recipe in Bavaria from the Danish beer. And then the slang was to call it a Bavarian in Denmark. So that's really a traditional name for beer.
So that's the Danish tradition, is to take something and in no way deny any responsibility for it. Just be like, yeah, we took it.
I mean, it was
This is where we
Carlsberg
took
who did it. Yeah. Carlsberg who stole the recipe, and it was very successful. Maybe he did something better in making it cheaper. Or, I mean, what we're doing now is that the Germans are obliged to use only barley. We use anything that can ferment: rice, corn, you name it.
So essentially, that's where like the Euro lager idea came from. Like the is that like essentially like what's it called? Yeah, the popular one there from Denmark.
Yeah, I mean, being the Carlsberg, yes, it came out of that. In 1847, he started brewing after he made extensive travels in South Germany to steal the recipe.
That sounds like a modern day brewer. Especially when you first start your brewery and you go to some brewery and you're like, ooh, wow, that's really good. We got to figure out how to make this. But then we name it nothing like what theirs was. I guess that could be a sign of respect, though, if you're like, yeah, this is where we got it. But yeah, what's the big beer brand that's in Denmark? I know it used to sponsor the football leagues.
That's Carlsberg. And then there's
Carlsberg, yeah.
also, but Carlsberg is the international and one.
Two O's, that one, whew, they go all over the place. They do all sorts of styles. Heavy styles, too.
Yes.
That is one thing about Danish beer. It's hard to find anything under 10%.
Mostly we don't go. But there's something called elephant beer, something is 8%. That's very popular amongst people who live on the streets and just want to get drunk.
Funny thing is, we used to carry that in our, when I managed a craft beer store, we had a huge import section. I mean, this was before like craft brewing really took off in the US, so there was limited selections there. So we had imports were still extremely popular. And we had elephant there one time because I just like to have just about everything available. And I tried that once and I was like, this is horrible.
I don't really like it. They have another one called 47, so it's named after 1847 when they started. It's a bit more sweet and I like that better. I mean, above 10%, it's really Belgian that does that. They go like 12%, so it's actually like they drinking a glass of wine. In Denmark, it normally stops at 8-9%.
Like Tool has have one stout, imperial stout, that's like right up there in the high teens, I believe, if I remember correctly. But yeah, they're a high-rated beer.
Yeah. I actually
Brewery.
like them, but you drink them as a wine. You don't drink them as beer anymore.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, if you drink those as beer, you're gonna end up in a bad spot.
Yeah.
Not only that night, but I would imagine the hangover from thick, heavy beer like that would be.
Yeah, the Belgians are okay. I think it's something really positive because if you drink heavy Czech beer, you get headaches like you cannot imagine. So never do that.
Well, Belgian beer has like a way to it where, with most of the styles, you don't even really, if they're done well, you don't really notice that they're that high of alcohol.
Yeah, you don't taste the alcohol. This is true. But I mean, if I order a 11% beer, I only drink one because I know what's going to happen. So
I love a lot of the Belgian yeast profiles too. Like the esters on those are just so awesome. We don't do enough of those beers. We used to do a couple and people still ask for them to come back, but I don't know why we haven't been doing them. It's mainly yeast management. You can only keep so many different kinds of yeast alive at a time. And it costs a lot these days.
The thing is, nowadays, most of the time I drink beer is after a bike ride. So there I prefer actually a dark Belgian beer, but only normal, like 5%, because after a bike ride, you have to be a little bit careful what you pour down.
I'll say that's a fair trade. I'll take a few days of cold just to not have to worry about snow on the ground. I didn't have to take off my cycling shoes to go out and move the car.
Cycling shoes on ice, that can be dangerous.
Yeah, please get Heidi to video you.
No, but yeah, Arctic weather is to prefer over snow, I would say. Okay, so just send your heating bill to ODivaZ. They will take care of it.
All right, there we go. I'm going to say thank you to everyone for joining us on the stream this morning. Thanks for joining us with all the chatter and everything. I'll be back. I might ride in the morning. I don't know yet. Well, we'll be racing tomorrow, the WTRL team time trial, in about 5 hours time, but tomorrow. Come back and see us then. Till then, take care. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.